I awake from terrified dreams to find myself faced with terrified thoughts that leave me feeling the fast beating of my terrified heart, wondering how my life will turn out, thinking if I can ever have happiness without past thoughts of sadness. And will I ever reach my full potential if I continue to carry regrets from my past? I wake in the morning and try to stay up as long as possible, because at least then I can have a loose grasp on these thoughts that creep so silently into my mind at night as I try to lay down to sleep. But rest just evades me, as my mind continues to race with memories of mistakes that I've made. But are these mistakes wrong decisions, or are they just simply decisions that have led me to where I am today? It is an essay question that technically has no right answer. So I lay back and pray to God to give me dreams of peace. But these nightmares are what I find myself faced with. And maybe he gives me these visions to show me what I never want my life to become. Or maybe they are to realize that the goals I've set can be reached. I cannot escape these thoughts, so I must find a way to contain them. And I do, within these margins that act as steel bars, holding my thoughts into place to allow me to come visit them when I need to. But what is it with certain English teachers that tell you to write with similes and metaphors, when the only simile I have for the way I feel is to say the way I feel is like the way I feel? There is no simile to describe these emotions and feelings that pour through my head and heart and wrench my gut into knots. And what metaphor can I use for my head but to possibly say it is full of light? That is not to describe the opposite of darkness, but rather to compare moving at a speed that most cannot fathom and even great minds cannot imagine. I cannot write my works within these parameters when they are as original as paintings by Da Vinci and Van Gogh. That is not to say I don't like to use these techniques. I just refuse to have them forced on me like peer pressure forces sex on unready youth. I treat my feelings as if they were unborn children, not knowing what name to give them, deciding if it is anger or loneliness that I feel in my chest. But for now, I just try and relax and let my mind close, for if I let it wander, it will undoubtedly find itself in a room surrounded by unpleasant company, of which the conversation will eventually turn to, "Why did you do that when you were younger? And don't you think your future is expected to be equal in comparison to your past?" So I lock these doors from the inside, so I will not be tempted into walking through them. But when I sleep, my temporary hold on this delicate sanity is released, and I drop my burdens back onto my mind, so that my awaiting hope of happiness-filled amusement is shattered by fear-filled scenarios. That is why I wake up early, as to avoid spending another minute in a dreadful situation. But as I grow older, I do fit the one cliche of growing wiser, because I now realize that these regrets and thoughts of a bleak future are controllable. They are my thoughts and my feelings. I am not simply their body. So where they previously had restraints on me, holding me down, I have reversed roles as quickly as a fumble changes the squads on a field. So I do not try and elude sleep, because even if I have nightmares, I know they are that, simply nightmares. They are not my life, and they do not determine the path which I choose to follow. So I look forward to rest, because it now gives me a rare visual glimpse as to how my life will never turn out.